Hi, this is Hot Chocolate with Paul for Saturday, December 28, 2024. This will be my last episode for the year 2024. And today I'm doing kind of a year in review of what's been happening with Hot Chocolate with Paul. So the whole idea behind Hot Chocolate with Paul is simply take a cup of hot chocolate or coffee if you prefer and sit and have a little chat. So we tend to talk about things going on in my life. This is a vlog, a video log. I know there's not a lot of people that follow this, but that's okay because I do this for fun. My original inspiration was to make it something like a morning talk show, but now with video, you can watch it any time of the day. And I did originally start this in 2023, and then I stopped. I started it up again earlier in 2024 with the inspiration from a relative who lives vicariously through the activities that Stacey and I do in our lives. Now, the video that you're looking at the moment, it might look a little bit different from what I usually do. That's because I'm actually trying it out on my tablet for the first time. I've never used my tablet to record any episodes, and the picture that I'm looking at is actually not too bad. So we'll see how it comes out. But the reason I'm doing it that way is because I want to show you my workhorse. This is the phone that I usually use to record episodes of Hot Chocolate with Paul. I do pretty much everything on it, and you can see the casing is quite worn down. I mean, this phone and this casing are actually overdue for being replaced, but budget-wise, I'd like to hang on until January of 2026 to replace it. So we'll see how it goes. But now that I'm looking at my tablet here, I might actually use this a little more often to record episodes of Hot Chocolate with Paul. But the thing that amazes me the most is the way technology has changed. I spent most of my life working at a TV station, most of my working life. I worked at WHEC Channel 10 starting in 1982, and I left there when my position was eliminated in 2014. And I saw quite a bit of change in technology. And it absolutely blows my mind that a control room that I worked in at the time through most of those years, we had a video switcher, a character generator or Chiron, an audio switcher, 2 camera people out in the studio, a master control operator, a videotape operator, and then a director to control all of that. All of that is condensed into this little phone. And that's how I do my episodes of Hot Chocolate with Paul. I record the video segments. I can download material. And then I use CapCut to edit the episodes together. And that's where I can add my graphics and add music into it and anything that I want to do. So that's what it is. All right, now I've switched back to recording on my phone. So here's the Android that you just saw a minute ago. It's actually pretty good. I was able to check out the video already. So it's actually pretty good. I've got my laptop here, and what I thought I would do for the rest of this episode is take a review of the year 2024 on Hot Chocolate with Paul. Just looking over some of the videos that were recorded and uploaded. As I said, Hot Chocolate with Paul actually started in 2023. I did it for several months and then quit. And to be honest, the majority of those episodes have been deleted. They're gone forever. There's a few that were saved and are still up and online, so you can watch them. One is like 24 hours in Baltimore, a quick 24-hour trip I did there. Some of the other videos that I did in 2024, the Ted Reinhardt Drum Festival, that was a fun event to go to. There were poems that I recorded. I had a thing called Paul's Poetry and Prose, but to be perfectly honest, I really wasn't getting much views out of that at all. So I decided to incorporate any future poetry that I do right into Hot Chocolate with Paul. And I do have one more episode of Paul's Poetry and Prose coming up scheduled to run in February. That's how far ahead I can work on these sometimes. Some of the poems, they're all in my book. I have a book that was published from 60 to 60, from 1960 to when I turned age 60, and that's the title of the book. And you can order it online from Amazon. But some of the poems that I did from there are a 9-to-5er, a simple mushy love rhyme, Dream World, Desperate Women.
Desperate woman. Do you avoid a desperate woman? What made her desperate in the first place? Is she an object or is she human?
I have episodes of Hot Chocolate on Paul that are about alcoholism and drug addiction. My experience with Stacey on the Royal Caribbean's Anthem of the Seas that came out earlier this year. Bedford Falls and Christmas Memories. That's all about Seneca Falls, because that was believed to be the inspiration for the movie It's a Wonderful Life. And the fictional town in there is called Bedford Falls. So that was just done a week ago. Another episode called Buick, Road Hogs and Radio. Cold Weather Parade. It's how Stacey and I get dressed up warm to march in parades. See, a drive through Greece, a drive to Geneva and Belhurst Castle, a review of empty storefronts and what's happening in the town of Greece, walk through Greece Ridge Mall, Farmfield, that's a poem, an episode called First Time Cruisers. If you've never been on a cruise before, it's a half-hour episode of Hot Chocolate with Paul where I talk about, I give you all kinds of information if you've never been on a cruise before. Some people who have watched it have told me it was extremely helpful for them, all about cruising, what to expect, how to go about choosing a cruise, and, just pretty much everything I could think of that you would need to know. Happy Father's Day, social media and elections. So my thoughts about social media and how elections are run. There's an episode I did called 10 Years Since I Left Broadcasting. All the years I worked at Channel 10 in Rochester. 10 years passed since I left. And some thoughts about that. The Pineway Ponds 5K, the once a year photo assignment I have where I volunteer to take pictures of the Pineway Ponds 5K in Spencerport, which is a fundraiser. Let's see, what else did I do? Cruise reunion. Some people that we met on a cruise ship in February of 2022. We had a reunion with them over the summer, and we're going to be meeting up with many of them again in February of 2025, and that's an episode of Hot Chocolate with Paul that will be coming up. So life as a really tall person. I did an episode about how to cruise inexpensively. The Little Red Schoolhouse, we did an episode there, along with some drumming and fifing from my fife and drum band, Excelsior Brigade Fife and Drum Corps. A very passionate episode I did about the topic of minimalism, where I talk about getting things in my life that I don't need, getting rid of stuff. I don't like stuff. I like experiences, not stuff. A tour through Montezuma Wildlife Refuge. I did an episode about my drum collection. Drumming is one of the things that I like to do. Let's see, the Rhine River Cruise. That's an episode of highlights from the year 2013, where my first wife, Mary, and I cruised the Rhine River. The special meaning of Columbus Day. What else did I do? YouTube favorites, some of the YouTube channels that I like to watch. I did an episode on that. Stacey and I did an episode about Thanksgiving 2024. And I need to point out that Stacey did her own episode of Hot Chocolate with Paul, talking about the difficulties she has experienced in her life with having learning disabilities.
Hi, I'm Stacey. I wanted to talk to you what it was like being in special ed and how it was being treated by people. It all started in third grade when I had to take tests at the El Seco Center in the Strong Hospitals. Teacher told my mom in third grade that I could not read the board, take notes, spell well, read well, math well, and etc.
She got a lot of feedback about that episode. And if it's not something you've watched already, I would highly encourage you to watch it. I did an episode of Hot Chocolate with Paul with my friend John Silva and also with my friend Tony Wexler. Today I have Robin Rudd.
It's called Clostridium difficile. Clostridium difficile is an infectious disease. Typically, the main cause of the illness is taking antibiotics. Every single day of my life, 24 hours a day, it's on my mind. Staying healthy is on my mind. From probably October-ish to April, I'm home. I don't go to the grocery store. My boyfriend does that for me. I don't go to family dinners. I don't go to any setting where there's a bunch of people together.
It is a beautiful fall day, and we are about to head out to Toronto to see
Cyndi Lauper and friends.
We're at the Brooklyn Cruise Port boarding the MSC Meraviglia for the next 9 nights. It is the morning of day 6 and we are arriving in MSC's private island, Ocean Cay. And now back to the ship.
I also did an episode of Hot Chocolate with Paul with my friend Doug Channon, talking about music and guitars and the music group Blues Circle, which I was the original drummer for. They have continued on. I have my reasons for dropping out of that. There's a few more poems that I did on Hot Chocolate with Paul. One is called How to End Love. The inspiration for me to write that was when my first wife left me and how I dealt with it, how to get over being in love with her and how to move on. Another one called It's a Guy Thing. Another one called Joy. Another poem called Lady Said Don't. And another one called Self-Defeatism. I did a reading of the Declaration of Independence, and just last week I did a reading of The Night Before Christmas. So that's a lot of what's been happening on Hot Chocolate with Paul. I had my inspiration from other places, but I truly enjoy editing these videos together. In a lot of cases, I just do it for myself because it's a fun thing for me to do. Being a retired person, I enjoy it, and I anticipate I'm going to just keep doing it for as long as I feel like it. So here's to the year 2025. I need to point out that for January of 2025, I will be doing a solo cruise to Europe. I will be taking a cruise ship across the Atlantic Ocean and then another cruise ship around the North Sea. And then after that, I'll be taking railroads in Europe to visit Luxembourg and Munich, Germany, and some points around those areas. So be sure to check out the entire series. There's going to be a total of 10 episodes, and I invite you to watch that series. If you're not aware of it, you can find shorter videos in this format on YouTube Shorts, Facebook Reels, and Instagram Reels. So check them out. I try to get a little comedy involved in that sometimes too. That's all I have for the year 2024 for Hot Chocolate with Paul. Have a good day.